Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a good night tonight. We're just gonna wait a few minutes to give people a chance to pop in. I'm gonna do something real quick here for a moment. But while we're waiting, I'll put some music on for a moment. And I'll be right back. All right. So as I said, we're just waiting for some more people to show up here. On the side, where the cowboys roam, everyone go by the code of the earth. On the side, even if you're home, everyone wanna know by the code of the earth. On the side. Get along, yeah. Each one special in their own way. Coming about a get along game, get along game. Get up with the get along game. And when you're old, get up with the get along game. Oh, get up with the get along game. When you know you're okay. Get up with a get along game. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna go and check kind of real quick. I'll be right back. Put the music back on here. Okay then. So in the name of the let's give it a minute. And pole position when everyone is watching you. Pole position. Everyone knows they're watching you. Hello, 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 hello. Brave star, brave star, brave star, brave star. Under the heart, into the wood. Brave star, brave star, brave star, brave star. Think of the bear, feel the puma, brave star. He-Man and the masters of the universe. Conan, the adventurer. Conan, man of bravery. He's more powerful than any man. His presence across land and sea. Conan. All right, anyway, 2 minutes now. So, okay, so I guess I'll get going here. I'll see you guys on Test for tonight, of course. We have we have we have quite a bit of a full plate tonight. We got like let's see, we got 9 articles over, all from CBR. The first 4 are going to be coming today. We're going to be talking quite a bit about Superman. There's a number of Superman announcements, and in particular, of course, the one big story everybody heard about over the weekend that Superman Son of Kal-El got canceled, among others. On the anime front, we got 3 stories, including one where there's a Japanese restaurant chain that actually is apparently being able to make the dishes from Studio Ghibli films. Also, Cha Yong-woo's Webtoon Island is getting a live action and the Joker DC manga. Got a something about that. Also, Rick and Morty are taking a hiatus. Apparently, their season 6 is taking a hiatus, and we got some possible crossover news between Velma and Harley Quinn. I know everybody's been talking about Velma and how, okay, in one series, she supposedly, they're now on all this evidence where she's lesbian, and then now they're going back to she's straight. It's like, oh, whatever. Anyways, all that being said, why don't we go ahead and go in on the article here. Yeah. Well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and start it. Here's the first one we're going to talk about. DC announces a new Superman series launching in February 2023. DC announced at New York Comic Con that Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell will launch a new monthly ongoing Superman series in February 2023. Article by Brandon were published 2 days ago. Normally, of course, I do a CDR articles. I usually just stay within the day. But considering that there was, of course, a big story that came out over the weekend, I decided to cover it from this also, there are a few other Superman titles, obviously, here, Superman stories, Superman stories. So let's talk about this. And you guys see the banner on the bottom, of course, if you can, if like and share the thing, so we can get some more friendly people in here, as well as, if anything catches your interest, you know, whatever we report or talk about, feel free to comment and ask questions, and if I can answer the question, I'll do my best to do so. Uh, anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it. Superman is getting a new ongoing monthly series launching in 2023 from Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth writer Joshua Williamson and Naomi McDuffie, co-creator, and McDuffie co-creator Jamal Campbell. Revealed during the quote DC Superman panel unquote at New York Comic Con on October 8th, which was this past Saturday. Superman is a new ongoing monthly series launching in February 2023 from Williamson and Campbell. DC said of the new series, quote, Superman has returned to Metropolis and his greatest enemy, Lex Luthor, is finally behind bars. The future of the Superman family has never been brighter as Clark Kent settles back into his life. Iconic and new enemies erupt from the shadows to strike down the monster. So he's coming back from his little excursion on War World. And you got Superman there and Luthor in the prison jumpsuit getting down right below. So you got Lois Lane in the middle there with Perry White and Jimmy Olsen on either side. Williamson commented, quote, after the darkness of the last year in the DCU, there is no character better suited to lead the DC into light than Superman. And most notably, what they're doing with this is Clark Kent Superman, not John Kent. So it's an understatement to say I'm honored to be writing DC's flagship series. Yeah, considering Tom Taylor had basically just kicked the series into the ground, they're just hoping somebody can bring back some magic before it totally dies out. Um, I'm very excited to take Clark Kent on a fun pulp style adventure in Metropolis against his greatest villain. We're also going to be introducing new concepts and new challenges to Man of Steel, and to be doing it with wonderful partners like Jamal Campbell and Nick Pagoda is a dream come true. Every page explodes with awesome energy. The Superman line that Tom, and I, um, Philip and I are putting together with DC is going to um, lead the way for an exciting 2023. Oh, I hope you're not. Well, I know that they did. Well, we'll talk more about that. Superman and Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth. The ongoing Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth event which recently released its fifth issue, has prominently featured two different Supermen. Clark Kent, DC's flagship character, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, first appeared in 1938 Action Comics #1, has largely been absent for the first time since the events of Justice League number 75, and he and his fellow superheroes all suffered a terrible defeat at the hands of Pariah and the Dark Army. While Superman has been stuck in a separate world created by Pariah, and he eventually managed to escape from Dark Crisis on Earth 5, his son John has taken on his father's mantle and led a team of heroes to defend the planet from death. John Kent has also starred in his own solo series, Superman Son of Kal-El, for quote, which again we will be talking about in a few minutes, which began in 2021 from writer Tom Taylor. And aside from a couple of issues, the series is just totally. And again, we'll talk more about that in a few minutes here. Uh, DC also announced that while Superman Son of Kal-El is ending after its 1850, Taylor will pen a new six-issue miniseries starring John, Adventures of Superman John Kent, which features art by Clayton Henry. Williamson and Campbell Superman launches February 2023 from DC. So there we go with that one. So that's something hopefully to look forward to, unless of course they try to multiply it. I doubt it. If they learned anything, if they have learned anything from, let's say, the last year or so, people do not want a woke Superman. That's pretty much been made abundantly clear because if DC learned from it, it likely will not. Anyways, and I think thank everybody for the radio. So moving on to the next article here. Superman, Son of Kal-El, ending with number 18. New six-issue miniseries debuted in 2023. Of course, this series ending is what's been the big news over the whole weekend here. DC announced that Superman Son of Kal-El will end after 1850. However, John Kent will be getting a new six-issue miniseries in early 2023. Article by Brent Spur, published 2 days ago, which was Saturday. As many of you know, many people have been talking about this country, and this is the important Cyber, Flash, the other. DC Superman Son of Kal-El series is coming to an end following its 18th issue. However, John Kent will get to see Publisher's new Superman star in it. Okay, there's a little typo there. We'll get to, I think it's supposed to say we'll get to see um, Publisher's new Superman star in a brand new miniseries in 2023. During the quote-unquote DC Superman panel at New York Comic Con, the publisher revealed Superman, Son of Kal-El number 18 will be the final issue of the series. I know when Yellow Flash talks about this, they'll probably try to hide it from you. Oh, no, it's meant to go 18 series. But it's not that. It's that the sales numbers were bad. The sales that would maybe a couple of exceptions, issue one, and of course the issue where John thematic, the whole novelty aspect of this stuff. So of the man in the series. And I think Jared Dark is pointing out too that nobody wants to see a Superman who focuses more on his boyfriend or or you know they often don't want to see Indian planes. So, uh, anyway, uh, will be the final issue of the series. Upon its completion in December, DC will launch a new six-issue miniseries, The Adventures of Superman Tom Kent, or John Kent, and by Tom Taylor, featuring art by Clayton Henry. Quote, John will finally get the chance to take on the man who is responsible for kidnapping and torturing Ultraman, the Superman of Earth 2. Ultraman. Superman of Earth 2, Val Zod, will also play a major role in the six-issue miniseries arriving in comic shops early 2023. UCT of the new miniseries. I wonder with everything going on at like Warner Brothers Discovery and DC and all that, I wonder if Lee Nakamura is gonna. I wonder if this whole thing. I don't know if he's gonna be involved in the story at all. Probably not. Hopefully, but if Tom Taylor's right, he'll probably try to find some way to put him in there and try to take one last shot at pushing his agenda for for being away into the shadows. Huh. Quote, I couldn't be more excited for John Kent to headline iconic Adventures of Superman. Now, for those of you who don't understand why that might be, that the Adventures of Superman had been a long time title. The comic originally was Superman, and then the Adventures of Superman went back to Superman. For a long time, I think from the 60s to the 80s, the book was called The Adventures. There was also, of course, a TV series, a TV series called The Adventures of Superman. There was even a filmation cartoon version of The Adventures of Superman. Well, that name is quite iconic and quite linked to DC Comics. Taylor said of the announcement, quote, it's a real testament to the fantastic response of fans to John as Superman. This series um, is going to be one of the most action-packed books I've ever written. John is going to be tested more than ever before. While we can tell you that Superman of Earth 2, Val Zod, and John's nemesis Ultraman will be key characters in the early part of the adventure. What we're going to reveal at the end of issue 2 will be everything, will have everyone talking. Issue number 3 launches us in a new direction that no one will see coming. Really, if you're gonna continue to push the content, no, I think we all see that from if it, you're gonna go back and see afterwards and John, and you're gonna realize no, content is actually great, and that'll probably be more of it. Superman Son of Kal-El comes to a close. Superman Son of Kal-El, launched in 2021, the series has largely followed John Kent. John takes over his father's role as Superman on Earth, while his father is away on Warworld. While he's battled a number of villains, ranging from Lex Luthor to Henry Bendit, the series has also seen John become close with a new boyfriend, Jay Nakamura. The character who was introduced in Superman Superman, son of Kal-El number 18, comes from Taylor, artist Ian Cormier, and Riley Coleman. Cover artist Travis Moore, and variant cover artist Simone D. Mayo, Nathan Zerdy, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and Alex Clare, releasing December 13th and, and tying into the ongoing quote-unquote parallel return crossover storyline shared with Action Comics. The synopsis reads, quote, Rise of Red Sin. It's a landmark Action Comics number 1050 just around the corner. Prepare for the ultimate battle between Superman and Lex Luthor as Clark and John continue their intensive training. But will it be enough to overcome the mysterious new villain calling themselves Red Sin? Oh, I know what I think I know. I think I did hear. I think I did hear. Maybe it was Yellow Fox who kind of mentioned this before. But I think there is a theory out there that they may on making Ray evil. This red sin might be things not more. Now wouldn't that be a way to scatter the dark pit that Taylor's done for the last few anyway, I'm ready to move on to the next story there. If anybody's popping it, you know. Oh, we got three people in here now. Hello, folks. Hope you're doing well. Made where we got done with the first two or four Superman stories. We just did, I just did some talk over about Superman L book, for example. So we're moving on to the next story now. Action Comics gets a major format restructuring in 2023. DC announced at New York Comic Con that beginning in Action Comics number 1051, Superman starring series to get a major format. Big article by Brandon Stewart, and again published 2 days ago. So a lot of this big news about the major changes in Superman news and all that has come out in the last couple of days here. Anyways, we need to talk about this a bit here. Action Comics is getting a major and as always, guys, if anything catches your interest, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And I'll do my best to answer any questions you guys might have in regard to course material that we're covering. Is getting a major formatting change following the series landmark 1050th issue, which we of course were just talking about in the previous article. Revealed during the quote unquote Superman, DC Superman panel at New York Comic Con, Action Comics number 1051 will begin offering fans three separate stories in each series. So this is going to go back to the idea of an anthology style. Now, for those of you who may not know, Action Comics originally started out as an anthology. We will see this we're talking about, well, it could also be a teacher, but Superman three stories much like art. I guess we'll just have to wait to see as we look forward here. The main story will continue to be written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, who will have Man of Steel face off against Metallic. A storyline that just begun to play out in the series. We see further speed following the bombshell event of Action Comics number 1050, the world's relationship with Superman is forever changed. The upper limits of his supercharged powers have yet to be reached, and the House of Hell's transformation of Metropolis, led by Steel, has begun. Like Luthor has found the perfect instrument which to undo everything Superman is working to achieve. Power, the hatred for Superman, matched only by his hatred for Luthor himself. Oh boy! Sounds like a pending three-way war going on there between Luthor, Hallow, and Superman. Ooh. Here are some, I know Yellow Flash, the first picture there, I know Yellow Flash talked a little bit about that. I was wondering, there was a Natasha character among the other Superman episodes. And when he said Natasha, I was thinking that it's a possibility that it could be Natasha Iron. Now, if Theo led the House of L as it was, it would make sense then that Natasha Iron was part of the was. These are all the different members of the Superman family right here. So, uh, so we are, of course, we'll continue on. Quote, my one-word mission statement for Action Comics in 2023 is, quote unquote, super family. And I draw inspiration from the 100-page Superman family issue. Johnson said, quote, we're giving everyone in the House of L their own role and personal journey while still keeping Superman on the forefront and tying all of the super titles together in a way that's reminiscent of the Triangle era. Um, I couldn't be more excited to be part of this new era of Action Comics and doing it alongside such a consummate artist as Rafa Sandoval and comic titan Dan Jurgens. Truly makes it a once in a lifetime experience. Let's see, the second story featured in Action Comics number 1051, Lois and Clark 2, Doom Rising, um, comes from Dan Jurgens and Lee Week and follows a John Kent during his younger years in Smallville, during a time in which he's learning about his new power. Doombreaker, the new enemy who will debut in the upcoming The Death of Superman 30th anniversary special number one, will also be a factor of the story. But the Doomsday special, those of you who may not know what the Doomsday storyline is Doomsday stuff. Lastly, Action Comics number 1051 will kick off a three-part story from Leah Williams and Marguerite Sauvage. Um, the story will see the return of Power Girl, a character created by Jerry Conway and Rick Estrada, who first appeared in 1976's All-Star Comics um, in 58 and will also factor into quote-unquote Lazarus Planet, the new DC Comics event coming early next year. So now I know that Flash talked about this too, Lazarus Planet. Basically, the idea here is that it's always planet that has a bunch of Lazarus pits. Uh, Lazarus pits that are on Earth here are where the Rachel rule goes to rejuvenate. Rachel goes to the character in life a long time. And it's old individual. And as he becomes older, he goes back to youth Lazarus, but at a cost to his mind. Action Comics has made similar changes to his formatting in the past in the late 1980s. Um, Action Comics became Action Comics Weekly, yes, from like 80, I think for like a year, 88 to 89, that's when I had Action Comics Weekly, running every 7 days for a little less than a year. And Action Comics Weekly transitioned to an anthology series featuring a number of different characters from the DC universe. What you all have to remember, though, too, is that Action Comics originally started out in anthology. Yeah, Superman was like the lead feature on that book from day one. But in the early days, you also had Takara and Continent. A little later, of course, Congo Bill, Vigilante. Let's see. Action Comics number 1051, released is January 24th, 2023 from DC. So there's one. We have one more article to get through. One that's actually one day. One day ago. This one's one day ago. 2 days ago. Before I get into this, though, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. Anyways, let's get ready to move on to the next article here. DC's Superman family gets dramatic new costumes. At New York Comic Con 2022, DC Comics unveils a new set of dramatic costumes for the entire Superman family on the cover of Action Comics number 1051. Naravan Liu, article by Naravan Liu, published one day ago. At New York Comic Con 2022, DC introduced its new Superman series following the events of Dark Crisis, unveiling a series of new images, including the cover of the upcoming Adventure Action Comics number 1051, featuring the Superman family with a brand new, dramatic new look. The cover includes the twins, accompanied by Clark Kent, front and center. Hovering to his immediate right is John Kent in a new suit. Behind him, on the far right, is Superman of China. On Clark's left is Supergirl, who is ditched the cape and has added a third color to the scheme. On the far left is Superman and Lex Luthor clone Connor Kent, now wearing a sleeker jacket. Behind them, all is Natasha Irons, Steele's daughter of Steele, Natasha Irons Steele, daughter of John Henry Irons, now wearing a hood. So there's Supergirl. There's Connor Kent. As we're looking at them, all the way in the back there, that's Natasha Irons. Okay, so that's who I thought it was, and then John Kent is right over Superman's left shoulder there, our right there, and then the Superman of China, and then the twins down there. So and there are the characters right there. Speaking at New York Comic Con, where CBR was present, Action Comics writer Philip Kennedy Johnson stated he is working closely with Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths writer Joshua Williamson and Son of Kal-El writer Tom Taylor to create more adventures for DC Super Family, teasing, quote, "There's a lot of stuff we have planned," unquote. At the panel, Johnson also confirmed that the Action Comics title will start focusing on the entire Super Family and his watch over Metropolis While few precise details were announced, the writer did confirm John Henry Irons' family will play a key role in the series. Now, in the comics, obviously, John Henry Irons Steele was always, close associate of Superman. And his daughter Natasha was a part of that as well. Here, speaking on its theme in the new format of DC Comics, Johnson said, quote, "My one-word mission statement for Mission Comics in 2023 is, in small quotes, Super Family. And I draw inspiration from the 100-page giant Superman family issue. We're giving everyone in the House of L their own role and personal journey while still keeping Superman at the forefront and tying all the super titles together in a way that's reminiscent of the Triangle era. Now, that seems fine and dandy as long as they don't overdo it on the personal side of it and start doing stuff that's going to turn more fans off than on. I couldn't be more excited to be part of this new era of Action Comics and doing it alongside such a consummate artist as Rafa Sandoval and comic titan Dan Jurgens, truly makes it a once in a lifetime experience. Unquote. Starting with Action Comics number 1051, the series will begin offering fans three separate stories in each issue. The main story in the upcoming issue will be written by Williamson, and we'll see the Man of Steel face off against Metallo in a story that explores Superman's place in the aftermath of his battle with Lex Luthor in Action Comics number 1050. Action Comics number 1051 releases January 24th, 2023 from DC. So there we go with that one. There we go with that one. So finished with the comic stories for the night. So now we still have some other. We have some anime, interesting anime, and anime, manga, and animation stories to go through. So got any for? Yeah, let's go over and get to those. Japanese restaurant chain perfectly recreates Studio Ghibli dishes. Studio Ghibli fans traveling to Aichi Prefecture to visit the theme park can stop by the izakaya chain to feast on some delectable dishes. Article by Hilary Long, published 9 hours ago. This sounds wow. That looks like a very tasty ramen dish right there. I think that's ramen. Close to the Studio Ghibli theme park is an izakaya chain bringing a whole buffet of Ghibli dishes for from screen to table. As reported by Sora News 24, an izakaya chain called Donin Norim uh, Suisanbu, located in the Aichi Prefecture, is recreating famous food from various Ghibli movies, from The Wind Rises to the beloved classic My Neighbor Totoro. The chain's Ghibli food restaurant recreation menu starts on October 11th, so tomorrow. For those of you in Japan, you want to head over to the Aichi Prefecture, go over to the head into Izakaya um, restaurants. Sure, they'll be happy to serve you some Studio Ghibli delicacies. Kind of wish I was there. Let's see. With both the theme park and now the special menu from Donin Norin Suisanbu, Prefecture is about to become a hot destination for locals and tourists alike. Fans can grab a bite to eat at any one of the branches in Nagoya before heading into the theme park or after they finish exploring it. Yum, yum. Look at some of that stuff. That does look quite. You got some ramen there, it looks like. Some kind of bacon and eggs. Um, I don't know if if that one dish is a Japanese version of spaghetti and meatballs, or that is actually spaghetti and meatballs. But look at all that. Doesn't that all look fresh ingredients too on all that? Olive there. I don't know what that is, but uh, dine without concerns of turning into a pig. For those of you who may know, who have actually watched some Studio Ghibli films, you should know exactly what they're talking about there. See, I'm trying to remember. And it was actually a pretty well-known movie too. I can't think of it right now. Um, Anyways, I'm sure they might mention it. Oh, Spirited Away. That's what it was. I just saw it right there. Spirited Away. Um, there are a total of 9 Ghibli-related dishes available for partaking, and can enjoy the Siberia cake from The Wind Rises and from Spirited Away, the mysterious food Chihiro's parents eat in a restaurant that turns them into pigs. Oh boy! Oh boy! The izakaya makes their version with a delicious combination of bamboo shoots, shiitake mushrooms, and mincemeat. Both dishes are priced 490 yen, and I would imagine that if you did get the Spirited Away meal, that you are not. I don't think that you're going to turn into a pig. Well, might turn into one figuratively, but not literally. You know, you like it so much, you might just, you know. At the restaurant, fans can eat Ponyo's um, favorite food, ramen, with two big slabs of ham and half a boiled egg. Yeah, that's what we were looking at earlier. Satsuki's simple but delicious bento box lunch from my neighbor Totoro is available for tasting. And Shitaka's Ojiya, also known as rice roll, from Princess Mononoke, is served in a little tureen. All three dishes cost 699 yen. 690 yen. The iconic calcifier skillet filled with two fried eggs, two sizzling shiny slices of bacon from Hal's movie, and I think we saw that earlier too. Hal's Moving Castle cost 790 yen. While technically not Ghibli produced, Lupin the Third Castle of Cagliostro is co-written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki and contains a similar um, Ghibli aesthetic. The meatball spaghetti dish, eaten by Lupin, which we saw that. I was wondering if that was actual spaghetti and meatballs, or if that was or if that was um, like some Japanese version of it or something like that. But I guess we get our answer there. Let's see. The pumpkin herring pie, baked to a golden crisp perfection from Kiki's delivery service, costs the most at 1,490 yen. So desserts actually cost more than the meals. Wow. Maybe there's just more work. Well, I mean, some of those, like they said, bento box, which are daily lunch boxes. So I can see that. But built as a tribute to the studio's artists, including Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli theme park brings several of its iconic works to life. The design of the park was done in an eco-friendly manner to limit the impact to the natural environment. The park will be opened in phases, with the first phase featuring Ghibli's Grand Warehouse, Your Shop from Whisper of the Heart, a replica of the sister's house, My Neighbor Toro, and the Sandogo Forest. Phase 1 of the Studio Ghibli theme park will open on November 1st in Aichi Prefecture. So let me see. That should be, as I recall, I think it's going to be 3 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah, 3 weeks from tomorrow, November 1st. Alrighty then. We're going to move on to the next article. Let's see if anybody's dropped. Well, we have the two people, so that's good. I hope you're enjoying the articles thus far. Um, as always, feel free to comment or ask questions. If I can answer the question, I'll do my best to do so as it pertains to what we're looking at here. Um, anyways, ready to move on to the next story here. Alrighty then. Cha Eun-woo's live-action adaptation of Webtoon Island announces premiere date. Fans will be able to watch the live-action adaptation of the fantasy exorcism webcomic Island, um, starring Kim Nam-gil and Cha Eun-woo this year. Article by Hilary Wong, published 7 hours ago. The webcomics-inspired fantasy K-drama Island, starring Kim Nam-gil and Astro's Cha Eun-woo, has finally announced its premiere month. As reported by Sonpi, Island will premiere in December. The drama stars Kim Nam-gil, Lee Da-hee, Cha Yong-woo, and Song Joon. Island is an exorcism drama that follows a group of people stuck on Jeju Island with demons threatening to destroy the world. The three main characters might figure out a way to fight against and defeat the evil. At the helm, directing Island, is Bai Jong. Welcome to Dongmakgo in Fabricated City. Kim plays Han, described as a tragic character um, who confronts evil in preparation for the world's end. Um, but can't be together with humans. Lee's character, Won Mi Ho, is sent to Jeju Island by her father to begin, quote, a self-reflection period, unquote. Cha plays Priest John, who spends his life purifying evil but harbors a dark past. Song Joon's character, Gong Tan, was supposed to be Tan's partner in defeating evil, but ended up on opposing sides. Island is part of a Marvel-like extended universe. Island is part of a Marvel-like universe called Superstring. Um, Yalab's IP, where characters from the different Yalab works come together in a single universe. Written by Yon In Wan, with art by Yang Kyung Il. Island was originally written in 1997. The webcomic received a reboot in 2016, produced by Yalab, after 19 years. According to the webcomic, season 1 will be a reboot version of the 1997 webcomic. The second season will include new original content. The first 5 chapters of Island follow Miho, um, who encounters a terrifying demon on the first day she steps foot on the island to work as a teacher. After being saved by a young man, Miho immediately strikes a deal with him because the demons are targeting her. She'll pay him 100 million won for every demon he slays, but if she runs out of money, she'll be next on his kill list. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, quite a bargain. A deal to be made there. Tim's acting career took off when he played Didam in Queen Songdok, winning several awards for his portrayal despite largely anti-LGBTQ sentiment from the Korean government. Kim played Song Jae-min in the queer film. No Regret. Lee played So Do-young in the 2013 drama I Can Hear Your Voice, which launched her acting career. She later starred in the rom-com romantic comedy The Beauty Inside. Shah's popularity as an actor rose exponentially after he starred in Gangman Beauty and True Beauty. He currently plays Duke Raffaello Kidri in the webcomic teaser for The Villainess is a Marionette. Song Jong is best known for starring in the melodrama High Society. Ghost Society is his first film after his military discharge. Island currently has 5 episodes out on Webtoon. The drama adaptation will air sometime in December and be distributed by TV Ing. Okay. Anyways, and that's that. That's that article. Anybody here? Anybody commenting? I guess not. I do thank everybody for the likes and shares. That does help get the word out. Joker Childcare Manga announces final arc start date. The hit DC-approved manga, One Operation Joker, will begin its last story arc on October 20th, which is, of course, 10 days from now, which I believe will be next Thursday, I believe. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. In the upcoming issue of Kodansha's morning magazine. The Batman-inspired comedy manga, One Operation Joker, will soon start its final story arc. The Twitter user at Manga Morgora shared the news on their page, along with the cover of the manga's last volume, which features Harley Quinn happily looking on as the Joker plays the baby Bruce Wayne. Okay. The first chapter of the last arc premieres in issue 47, 2022. Kodansha's morning magazine on October 20th, despite the manga's unconventional depiction of Joker and its near exclusive emphasis on comedy, DC Comics officially approved the series. So it's almost like this particular series is just in another a completely really different canon from anything else that DC is doing. Written by Satoshi Miyagawa, illustrated by Goto Keisuke, One Operation Joker is about Batman's infamous adversary raising the Caped Crusader from infancy after he's transformed into a baby. Unlike other incarnations of the Joker, focused on the villain's ingenious schemes, this series has the character dealing with conventional parenting issues, like struggling to put a restless baby to sleep and diaper changing. Uh, while the series' first volume focuses mainly on Joker adjusting to the trials and tribulations of parenthood, the second volume features a Joker that has comfortably settled into his role as an adopted father and to the now toddler age Ruth. And loves Batman comics. Don't we all? Don't we all? Uh, Several Batman installments have come out in Japan over the past decade. Kodansha's Morning magazine also published another manga about Gotham City Crusader titled Batman Justice Buster. Um, and I know that Marvel Comics done in the act too with having like some of their characters licensed out for anime, like Wolverine and Blade, Iron Man. So, yeah. But anyways, which debuted in December 2020. This series, written by Ultraman creators Tomohiro Shimoguchi and Eiichi Shimizu, is set 3 years into Batman's crime-fighting career and features appearances by several iconic villains, including Joker, while Batman has always relied on gadgets and tech. The series goes further by giving the hero a full body armor suit, with his famous sidekick, Robin, serving as the suit's AI. Interesting. Batman anthology anime called Batman Gotham Knight also emerged from Japan in 2018. Yeah, I think I actually saw that a while back. A few months back, I think, around, it was around the time of DC Fan Zone, I believe, um, where Cartoon Network had actually did like a couple weekends of a Batman marathon. I think Gotham Knight was one of the things they put out there. This project features 6 independently produced short films from 4 different animation studios. 7 other directors participated, including Yasuhiro Aoki of Digimon Golden Digimental fame, Toshiyuki um, Kubooka from Berserk, The Golden Age Arc Memorial Edition fame, and Hiroshi Morioka, the Pasta Reservoir Chronicle fame. Each film's story is unconnected and depicts its own version of the Caped Crusader. Kevin Conroy, who has voiced Batman for almost a decade, um, starting Gotham Knight English version. Now, okay, they say almost a decade. Um, Kevin Conroy. Let me see if I read that right. Kevin Conroy, who had voiced Batman for almost a decade, was a lot longer, both when the film was originally made and up to now. Kevin Conroy has essentially been at least one of Batman's main voices since back in 1992, Batman the Animated Series. Unless they were trying to say here the first time he voiced it in a decade. I mean, but that can't be right either, because if let's say that first came out in 2008, that's when he voiced it, that would have only been like maybe 4 years, not like decades. One One Operation Joker currently has no English translation. However, fans can read hundreds of other Batman comics via DC Universe Infinite and through Amazon's Comixology Unlimited. Batman Kick Crusaders, the next major animated entry in the Batman um, franchise, is in the works but does not yet have a release date. All right. So, anyways, that's what goes there. That's all for the anime stuff. So now we're going a couple of TV related articles, a couple animated articles that we'll go through here. All right, and I'm going to step away for a moment. I'll be right back. I'll leave some music on for you guys to listen to as I'm away. All right, I'm back now. So we've got some animated news to go through today, and I see there is a third person. Thank you for popping in. I hope you'll enjoy the content if you haven't already, and we have a fourth person too. Goody, more the merrier. You guys, um, that haven't already, if you guys can like and share the thing so we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. Also, um, if anything catches your attention as we go through the articles here, and you want to ask about it or comment on it, feel free to do so. And it is a question. I'll try to do my best to answer it. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to this next article about Rick and Morty here. Rick and Morty, of course, is an animated series on Adult Swim, on the Adult Swim block on Cartoon Network. So, Rick and Morty announces season 6 hiatus. Adult Swim notifies fans that Rick and Morty season 6 is taking a 6-week break following the release of the latest episode, Jurassic Mort. Article by Leon Miller, published 17 hours ago. So there you have Rick and Morty right there in the screenshot. So bad news, Rick and Morty fans, the adult animated series 6th season is officially on hiatus. Adult Swim announced the 6-week mid-season break via official. So 6 weeks. So that means that starting this week. So this Saturday is the weekend of the 14th. So 14th. So basically, between now and basically the week just prior to Thanksgiving. And I know this because it is also the time span when I'm doing, when I'm covering the June of 1939 in terms of comic history. So that's how I know that. Anyways, the adult animated series 6th season is officially on hiatus. Okay. Adult Swim has announced a 6-week mid-season break via its official Twitter account, confirming that the show will return on November 20th. Okay. As part of its announcement message, Adult Swim encouraged fans to view the hiatus as an opportunity, quote, to expand, brackets their minds, in preparation for the rest of the season, unquote. Rick and Morty season 6 kicked off on September 4th. I believe that was Labor Day, I believe, and has released 6 episodes so far. The latest episode, Jurassic Mort, aired on October 9th, which was this past Sunday, yesterday, 2022. Let's see. Oh, what's that green? Oh, boy. Yikes. Fans shouldn't take the Rick and Morty season 6 hiatus as a sign the show is running out of steam, though, on the contrary, producer Scott Martyr and James Siciliano recently confirmed that a further 2 seasons of Rick and Morty are in the works, with Martyr promising that a new season will drop every year. There's an unbelievable amount that we have going on. This Siciliano elaborate quote unquote elaborate quote. I don't know how much we could talk about, but as far as the production, we have season 6 coming out and season 7 in production. We have the writers' room for season 8 going, so that's about 20 episodes in some form of production. And the new season that we're breaking. Rick and Morty launches the series' next big story. Martyr, who revealed that Rick and Morty season 6 will push the series' overarching narrative in a new direction. The producer added that this was because the Rick and Morty season 5 finale wrapped up several long-running plot threads in the show's run up until that point. Quote, 5 510 was a huge finale. He said, quote, it left us with a ton of homework and a lot to live up to. I feel like it closes that book, but at the same time opens a new one. There was a clear and present danger that was always there that so naturally emerged, coinciding with Evil Morty, to begin the second half of a larger story. Let's see, and before we finish that last paragraph, let me see if anybody's commented on anything. Nope. All right. Anyways, Rick and Morty creator Dan Harmon has since confirmed that Evil Morty still has a part to play. In the bigger story, he and his team are telling despite the character's apparent exit in the season 5 finale. That said, Harmon also warned fans that Evil Morty won't necessarily return anytime soon, describing him as quote an easy guy to forget, but because he kind of took care of himself. Unquote. Rick and Morty season 6 returns to Adult Swim on November 20th. So there we go with that one. Yeah, one last article to go through, then we'll get to the wrestling around it. We have a lot to go over there as well. And this is the last article we're going to read tonight. Let's see, people still here. Okay, that's good. Harley Quinn in Velma's HBO Max series? There's a chance. Velma's showrunner, Charlie Grandy, confirms he's quote unquote absolutely interested in a crossover with HBO Max's hit adult animated series Harley Quinn. Now I know a lot of people have been talking about the Velma series. We talked about it in here. Yellow Flash talked about it. You know, where there's like race swapping going on. I know one of the big issues with the HBO. Well, let's see, is this the HBO Max series or HBO Max? One of the big things that a lot of people were upset about is that Scooby's not going to even be in this series. Going to focus more on the other characters, which I think a lot of people just felt, no, that shouldn't be. Now granted, the reasoning, but then again, I'm sure many of us did not think they would take some of these characters in some of these directions. Those of us who, of course, grew up on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The new Scooby-Doo movies, the Scooby-Doo show, and Scooby and Scrappy-Doo. So, let's see. Article by Leon Miller published 15 hours ago. Like that. Whoa. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay. Who here thinks that chocolate should be a color used in animation? I know it's supposed to represent black, but it looks chocolate to me. Anybody else get that impression? Look at Velma right there. I mean, give her a couple long ears and a cotton ball looking tail, and she looks like a chocolate bunny. Oh boy. Velma's showrunner, Charlie Grandy, recently revealed there's a chance that Harley Quinn could appear in the upcoming HBO Max animated series at some point in the future. Grandy discussed the possibility of Quinn, who headlines her own hit HBO Max series, guest starring in Velma, in an interview with comicbook.com. Quote, if, in brackets, Velma is a success and does take off, There will absolutely be talks about doing something, unquote, he said. Quote, again, that honors the original show, and we want to honor the original, quote, in bracket, Scooby-Doo animated series. Okay, that sounds almost contradictory right there, because you don't even have Scooby-Doo in the show. Oh boy, that sounds so contradictory. As much as we can, so um, that's baked into the DNA of the original. So we'll look for ways to do our take on that. Yeah, I think you've done that a little too much there, buddy. Grandy's comments presumably refer to the Scooby-Doo franchise's tradition of linking up with other properties, including multiple crossovers with the wider Batman franchise, of which Harley Quinn is part. Yeah. Okay, if they're talking about that, they're talking about, of course, going back to like the new Scooby-Doo movies where you did have, Batman and Robin guest star in a couple of, and I think even later, maybe more recent years, they had some Batman crossovers, but still. Yeah. Let's see. Grandy's response also hints at the current uncertainty surrounding Velma's reception as the show presents a marked departure from the Scooby-Doo franchise's more family-friendly roots. The new Velma teaser trailer, and family-friendly roots basically means that this particular series is going to be more adult-oriented. It's going to be an adult animated series. The new Velma teaser trailer recently spotlighted um, the series' mature content and themes, featuring an extended homage to Scream and ends with a graphic shot of blood-splattered window. The teaser also poked fun at the online backlash surrounding the changes to Velma's titular protagonist, with Velma shown venting her outrage over alterations made to Judy Jetson's character in a non-existent Jetson spinoff. Velma star responds to backlash towards the eight. Now, apparently, this show is actually the one where Velma where all they do is race swap. Velma actually, as far as I know, in this one, great, they actually go back and hint at, where she has a crush on Freddy. There was another production that I think they've been covering where she actually was exploring being a lesbian, But anyways, Velma Star responds to backlash towards the HBO Max show. Velma Star, Mindy Kaling. Okay, so I guess that was who it is. When Yellow Flash talked about it, he couldn't tell what the name was. I thought at first he was talking about Mindy Cohn, who was doing Velma for a while there, who was doing Velma there in like the 2000s, I think. And I somebody Doodlebug 4 kind of told me that Mindy Cohn left that role in 2015. So I guess Mindy Kaling now who's doing the role. Previously addressed complaints from some Scooby Doo fans that her version of Velma Dinkley is South Asian and not Caucasian, saying she's not bothered if this change upsets people. Quote, you've hopefully noticed that by now my Velma is South Asian, unquote, she said. Quote, and if people freak out about that, I don't care. No one's imagination ever had a problem with a talking dog solving mystery, so a brown Velma is fine. Well, okay, I'll get to all that in a moment. I think we can all handle it. In any case, you won't want to miss this coming to HBO Max. I know one of the things Yellow Flash commented on is that this seems to be a self-production. I think this is another case of an SJW sticking the middle finger up at longtime fans of the franchise, the people who would probably be very interested, even if be very interested in it, check it out. And once again, you have an SJW here who is basically sticking the middle finger up at longtime fans, at traditional fans, and telling you, this is where we're going to present, this is going to be the way we're going to present Velma. And if you don't like it, F you. That's their attitude. And a lot of people just are not going to buy it. And if they're going to push a lot of the narratives in this show, it probably is not going to get a lot of viewership. Probably won't last probably won't last beyond one season, if a full season at all. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Velma's ethnicity in Velma isn't the only major development in the teenage sleuth's characterization of late, either. New animated film, Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. That's the one I was talking about. That's the one I was just talking about earlier. Recently confirmed that Velma is gay, portraying her as visibly attracted to criminal mastermind Coco Diablo. This has been one of the big things that's been talked about lately too. In fact, one of the other things that Flash pointed out on one of his videos was that when the HBO Max series went back to Velma liking guys again, and even showing that she may have a crush on Fred. It's like a lot of the Twitty just had a meltdown over it. Like they just had such a fit about it. Anyways, it's worth noting that Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo is set in a different continuity to Velma, which means it's currently unclear whether Velma's LGBTQ plus portrayal will carry over to the HBO Max series. According to Yellow Flash, according to some of the screenshots he got, that's not going to be the case. Like, there was a huge storm that went over that he went over there because there were a lot of people who were upset that wasn't being presented as the case on the HBO Max series for being LGBTQ. So, and at least according to what Yellow Flash was able to find, Velma, of course, is not the only change there, in terms of ethnicity. Shaggy, well, now they're calling him, I guess, I don't know if they're going to go ahead and still call him Shaggy or just going to go by his given name of Norville in the series. He's darker skinned. Daphne is Chinese, and then, as one commentator put it, Fred's the token dumb white guy. So, go figure. Anyways, Velma arrives on HBO Max in 2023. So, that all being said there, we're done with all the articles. You have some wrestling news to go over. First off, on the WWE front, on the WWE front, of course, Extreme Rules happened this past Saturday. Main event saw Matt Riddle defeat Seth Rollins in the Fight Pit match. Bianca Belair retained the Raw Women's Championship in a ladder match over Bayley, despite Bayley getting some help or getting some attempted help from her Damage Control faction mates of Io Sky and Dakota Kai. The one title change that did happen, Liv Morgan did drop the SmackDown Women's title to did smack the drop the SmackDown Women's title to Ronda Rousey. The show started off, of course, with a good old-fashioned Donnybrook 6-man tag match in which the Battling Brutes led by, of course, Sheamus, defeated Imperium, led by Intercontinental Champion, Intercontinental Champion Gunther, in a very hard-hitting match. Finn Balor was able to defeat Edge in an I Quit match after his wife Beth Phoenix returned to SmackDown and tried to help him out in the match, stave off the attempts of Judgment Day to cheat or to make him quit. And then after knocking her out, Rhea Ripley was threatening to give Beth Phoenix a concerto if Edge did not say "I quit." So, so more to that story to come. Now, on to some other news, other WWE news that came out. Of course, at the end of the night, at the end of the pay-per-view, we got the return of Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. Wyndham Rotunda. Bray Wyatt returned to the WWE at Judgment Day, sparking what could be a number of guys returning, including Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, a.k.a. Taylor Rotunda. Of course, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, who are Wyndham and Taylor Rotunda, the sons of Mike Rotunda, a.k.a. IRS, and grandsons of Blackjack Mulligan, as well as the nephews of Barry and Kendall Wyndham. They have quite a pedigree, as it were, in terms of. But Bray Wyatt made his return. It looks like there's a possibility Bo Dallas will be returning. And there's also another rumor. There's another rumor coming that the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, coming off of their run in, of course, in Impact Wrestling, as well as New Japan, they might be returning to the WWE. They might be returning to WWE. There's some indication that they're the rumor. We'll have to wait and see. That's at least some of the bigger news coming up. Now, there's also with Bray Wyatt coming back. He's bringing back. There's also some rumors that he might be bringing back a faction called the Wyatt Six, and these are some NXT wrestlers who will be dressing up in the various characters from his Funhouse gimmick as the theme. So, so that's some of the WWE news. Now for the AEW news, this past Friday, of course, there was past Friday they had a special live edition of Rampage and a special live event called Battle of the Belts 4. Throughout the entire night, they had 4 titles on the line with Pac doing double duty as he was co-defending the trios titles in a 3-way 6-man tag match with his Death Triangle teammates Ray Phoenix and Penta Oscura against they were actually defending against Dark Order. I'm sorry. I was confusing that with a triple threat tag team match that Acclaim did. I'm sorry. But anyways, they defended the 6-man title actually against 10 Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the of Dark Order, and then of course Pat came back at the beginning of Battle of the Belts and defended the All Atlantic title against Trent Beretta and retained the title. None of the titles changed hands. There were, as I said, 4 title matches in total on the night, 1 on Rampage and 3 on Battle of the Belts. The other 2 title matches were Jade Cargill defending the TBS title against Willow Nightingale with a very, very interesting surprise there. And the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, FTR, defending against the Gates of Agony. So in the TBS title match, Jade Cargill retained her title, but she did not leave with the belt. As at the end after the match, Vicky Guerrero came out with her "Excuse me, distracting Jade Cargill and the baddies as Nyla Rose, former AEW Women's Champion, came out and they sneaked out from the seats and stole the TBS title. This could potentially lead into an interesting feud between currently the longest reigning TBS champion, of course, the sole TBS champion, Jade Cargill, and a former AEW champion in Nyla Rose. So could Nyla be the one to bring Jade down a peg or two? Could Nyla be the one to end the undefeated streak of Jade Cargill and to maybe knock her down a peg or two? You have to wait and see. Also, in the main event of Battle of the Belts 4, you had, as I said, FTR of Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler defending against the Gates of Agony, Juan and Toa Leon, in which the FTR retained the titles. Now, one of the things I was most impressed in this match was with FTR's power. Okay, they were able to, their finisher is kind of a flapjack double knee facebuster combo. They got the heavier of the bigger of the two Gates of Agony guys. I don't know if that one's Quan or Toa Leon, but the bigger of the Dax got him up there. I mean, just powered him up for Wheeler. Actually, no, it might have been Wheeler who actually. I think Cash who might have been the one who powered, but they basically got him up in the air and were able to actually get the hold. And it was pretty impressive to see. And then you basically had to end out the night. Of course, you had a bit of a confrontation between, of course, all members of the embassy as the champions and Prince Nana, the manager of the embassy. The Gates of Agony and Nana decided to go 3-on-2 on FTR, which of course, and then Brian Cage came out to join the fray, and then then you had Wardlow coming out to the TNT champion, Wardlow coming out to help his fellow former Pinnacle members, and then Samoa Joe eventually came out and finally it was all cleared up eventually. And some other AEW news. Apparently, CM Punk right now is working an office job for them. Now, it's unclear what that office job is, whether he's just getting coffee from people or whatever, but he's apparently working an office job right now for AEW. So that was kind of interesting when I heard that. And we do have some Impact Wrestling news as well. As this past Friday was the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. As on that event, of course, in the main event saw Josh Alexander retain the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion against Eddie Edwards. Jordan Grace retained the Women's Champion over Masha Slamovich. The Kingdom, as they're called, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven with Maria Kanellis in their corner, and I've got some other news regarding them, and maybe one other member of Honor No More to mention in a sec here. they retained the Impact not Impact tag team titles. There were a couple of title changes on the night, as Frank Kazarian did defeat Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey, for the X Division title. He also had the team known as the Death Dolls, Jessica and Taya Valkyrie, I believe, defeat Vex, DXT, for the. Actually, I should double check that one, but I'm not completely sure. I think they did, but and I do know that Brian Myers did indeed retain his title on the pre-show in that open challenge against Dirty Dango coming in from the NWA. So let me just double check something here. Let's see now. Okay, let me see. Yes, I thought Jessica and Taya Valkyrie, who were being billed as the Death Dolls, um, did defeat Chelsea Green and Diana Purrazzo DXT. Also in a call your shot gauntlet match consisting of 20 wrestlers. Now this is this the call your shot gauntlet match is a match and somewhat reminiscent to WWE's Money in the Bank. The idea is the winner of the match gets a guaranteed title contract at any title they get a title shot at any title they wish at any time. So, and the winner of the Collier is Bully Ray, who outlasted Bhupinder Gujar, Bobby Fish, Eric Young, Giselle Shaw, Heath, Joe Hendry, Johnny Swinger, Killer Kelly, Matt Cardona, Moose, PCO, Rhino. Rhino made his return at Bound for Glory. Rich Swan, Sammy Callahan, Savannah Evans, Steve Macklin, Tasha Steele, Taylor Wilde, and Tommy Dreamer. So you had Frankie Kazarian, Taylor Wilde, and Rhino making their returns to Impact Wrestling. And of course, one of the other big matches on the night as well is Mickie James is still pursuing her last rodeo as she defeated Mia Yim in the match. Now, there's some other news coming out of Impact as well, as it is said there are a few people who seem to be working there now as free agents. And apparently Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Maria Canales Bennett, and Vincent, I can't pronounce his last name, but Vincent from On No More. Those four individuals, they're working as free agents right now. And there's a possibility that if they decide not to, well, it would be quite an interesting scenario because if, in fact, because I think it's more of a rumor than anything else, but if particularly Tatum and Bennett's contract have expired and they're working as free agents right now, that could be a bad thing because they still have the Impact tag titles around their waist. What you almost have to hope is that they don't pull a stunt like what happened in the '90s when Medusa left. When during her time when she was WWF World Women's Champion, she left the company and took the belt with her, threw it in the garbage. You don't want something like that happening. Um, so so with all that being said, let's see what time is it. So we're at hour 51 here. So it's probably a good time to start winding things down a bit here. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. Well, give me one quick second. I gotta do something real quick. I'll put some music on for you guys for a moment here. All right, so there we go with that one. Anyway, guys, so let's go ahead and start wrapping things up here. Today is Monday, October the 10th, 2022. So why don't we go ahead and take a look back at this day in youth history. History! Alrighty then. Okay. Okay, so going back 40 years ago today, on this date 40 years ago today, um, Warrior of Love Rainbow Man, which was an anime produced by MBS, um, premiered on this date 40 years ago today. So it premiered on TV, Tokyo Broadcasting System in Tokyo. The anime Warrior of Love Rainbow Man um, premiered on this date 40 years ago today. So there we go with that one. We move ahead. Now move ahead 10 years. We head to 30 years ago today. As I would actually like to wish a happy birthday to current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and leader of the Bullet Club faction in New Japan, Jay White. So I would like to wish him a happy 30th birthday to IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and Bullet Club leader Jay White. Moving on to the next piece of niche history here. Let's see. On this date in 2001, which is 21 years ago today, the 515th episode of, or I'm sorry, 515th issue of Archie Comics went on sale today. It was a bit of a feature anthology here. You had, let's see, had 1, 2, 3, 4. You had 6 stories in it altogether, 5 of them featuring Archie and then 1 featuring Moose. On this date in 2001, 21 years ago today, the 515th issue of Archie premiered on this date in 2001, 21 years ago today. Look at Archie and Veronica on the cover there. Wow. So with that, we have one more piece of niche history to go over, and then we will probably be wrapping up. Let's see. On this date, 15 years ago, 2007, the PBS Kids show Maya and Miguel would conclude their run on PBS Kids. On this on this date in 15 years ago today, um, Maya and Miguel would conclude their run on PBS Kids. So there we go. I thank everybody for being here tonight. As we get ready to head out here, some last announcement. Of course, I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow night for more Needs News coverage. Also, this Friday, of course, Rich Piper will be joining me as we will be this Friday. Rick Piper will be joining me as we will be looking at looking back. We'll be actually starting June of 1939 coverage in our historical comic retrospect. We'll be looking at books that went on sale from DC. We'll be, of course, looking at Action Comics Volume 1, number 14. Detective Comics Volume 1, number 29. Adventure Comics Volume 1, number 40, among others. So we got Superman, we got Batman, we got Sandman, we got Hyperion and Squibbly on tap for that night, with some more info and some more history and all that. I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. I hope to see everybody. And also one more little announcement here. Tomorrow I'll be recording a premiere episode on RJ Carter on Critical Blast channel. It will be airing right before my show, so I hope you guys will catch both shows. I'll be talking about the thought process and what goes into like the Friday shows. How I especially now that I'm getting now into the case where we're getting more books that are coming out, getting into the latter half of 39 where more companies are coming into fruition, more books are starting to be published more, the super genre really starting to pick up a bit more. So I'm going to talk about, how do I, one of the big things we're going to be talking about is how do I come to my decisions on what to cover. We'll of course be going over basic information on that, but also we'll be getting a little bit more in depth of what goes through the thought process of how I do that. So I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. See everybody here on Friday, and don't forget to catch the premiere episode. Should be premiering this Friday, unless there's some other issues that come up, but I don't think so. And with that, thank everybody for being here tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.